You're going to be working around fuel here, so let's take some basic safety precautions. As always, you should be wearing your safety glasses, but now's a good time to get some chemical-resistant gloves as well. As always, you should be working in a well-ventilated area away from any source of ignition, which would be heat or open flame, including a hot water heater or an incandescent shop light. Have a good, fully charged, functioning fire extinguisher handy and know how to use it. This photo shows a safe method for emptying the gas out of the tank in your Boxster. Disconnect the pressure side hose from the top of the pump and connect some clear plastic tubing to the barb, yellow arrow. Carefully connect the car's battery terminals up to a 12-volt supply, making sure that you wrap the insulated ends of both terminals carefully. Jumper the relay in the driver's footwell. Turn on the ignition and the pump should turn on and begin to pump fuel in your tank. Watch the level carefully and shut the pump off when the external tank fills up or when the Boxster's fuel tank runs dry. This photo shows the relay panel under the driver's side footwell. The fuel pump is not normally turned on unless the engine is running, but you can remove the relay and bypass it using a simple jumper wire as shown here. Remove the fuel pump relay, shown in the insert, and then jumper pins 30 and 87, typically labeled 3 and 5 on the relay panel. This will cause the fuel pump to turn on automatically when you turn on the key in the ignition. Once you remove the battery and the lower tray cover, you will see the top of the tank and the fuel sender. Squeeze in the fuel line connectors and remove them along with the vent hose and the electrical connections, lower left. Use a large chisel and a medium-sized hammer to carefully tap on the outer ring that holds the fuel pump in place, upper left. It should turn and loosen up with a few taps. Once the ring's loose, pull out the fuel tank sending unit and you should be able to carefully squeeze and remove the fuel supply hoses that attach to the bottom. When you reinstall the sending unit, be sure to line up the big arrow, blue arrow, with the 3 lines on the tank, green arrow. The upper left insert photo shows the fuel pump sitting inside the empty fuel tank. I had a really difficult time removing the pump from the bottom of the tank. Supposedly, you should be able to simply turn it with your hands and unlock it from the bottom, but my grip wasn't strong enough. Instead, I used a rubber oil filter wrench to carefully wrap around the circumference of the pump. One solid twist of the tool and the pump came free of its locking sight on the bottom of the tank. Installation is pretty straightforward. Image A, the red arrow, shows the circular locking ring at the bottom of the fuel tank that the fuel pump snaps into with a twist. This secures the pump to the bottom of the fuel tank. Image B, shown here, is the new pump installed. It looks slightly different than the original, but its functionality is the equivalent. Image C. With the new pump in place, install the fuel tank sending unit onto the top of the tank. Be sure to connect the hoses from the pump to the bottom of the unit. Image D. Shown here is the new pump installed with the new sending unit all buttoned up and ready for testing. Be sure to put some fuel back in the tank prior to starting the fuel pump up, and expect the car to run rough for the first couple of minutes as air is purged from the system. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to our channel and check out another video in this series.